the Niners draft Justin Fields and they keep Jimmy and have a training camp battle just for all of our entertainment, who wins that one?
Fields, but they trade Jimmy first before they make a decision about him winning. Like, they'll never put it out there that he won.
Okay.
They'll never put that out there that he won. They got to move Jimmy though before that. They cannot let him lose that quarterback battle.
Fair.
If you have to go to them and say, now, and I've got a sneaky feeling day 2 is when you're going to see the Jimmy move happen.
Okay. For a pick this year or a pick next year?
It depends on what they want. I would love a pick this year, but I don't think you're going to, you'll already be in day 2. So you're missing a first, so again, we talked about it, conditional first with a second, something like that, but I would think it's a pick for next year, based off of that. So I just have a sneaky feeling that day 2 is going to be the day that you see the movement with Jimmy Garoppolo, whether that's New England or whether that's Chicago, Washington, one of those teams. I think that's when you actually see the movement. But if you're asking me in a competition, and this is, look, you can call me biased because I love Justin Fields and I think he's great, but I just think in terms of what he offers, as far as what he does differently from Jimmy Garoppolo, is going to be too hard to ignore, and he would actually be the one who wins. But again, you can't tell the world Justin Fields beat Jimmy Garoppolo in a quarterback competition and then turn around and try to trade him. So that's my hesitance with that.
That's a good point. I'm going to go with Jimmy again, and I'm down on Jimmy. But the only reason, and it's not because I'm down on Justin, it's just I feel like, people make a big deal out of Mac Jones's lack of experience, and it's real. But I think it's real for Justin Fields too. He's played more games. He's completed 10 more passes.
We talked about that. If experience is a concern for Trey Lance, then it's got to be for everybody else.
Everyone. And I think it is. Even Zach Wilson, I'm not necessarily certain Zach Wilson would just step on the field and beat out Jimmy Garoppolo. Maybe he'd take the job by week 8. I mean, Jimmy is prone to give it away by week 2. You never know. But if Jimmy's healthy, he's got the advantage of just reps in this offense. In this offense, it could help him just in those 2-3 weeks of training camp in August. So I think if they get rid of Jimmy, I get it. But if they keep him, I could see it being that they're just not 100% certain that any quarterback they take at 3 is going to be ready to go right away.
I mean, and that's a good sentiment. I had voiced that I thought that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be the starter no matter who they pick. But I don't know. Something feels weird now. I think it's been too quiet on his front. Again, nobody knows. Yeah,
that is a good point. It almost feels like he hasn't congratulated any teammate about any contract extension. It almost feels like there's something's been said behind closed doors. Like, hey, you just be quiet. I'll be quiet. We got an arrangement. I don't know what the arrangement is, but it almost feels like, hey, yeah, if you just say nothing, don't request a trade, don't lower your value. We'll take care of you by X date.
Right. And last year around this time, they were all in Nashville, and he was throwing to Trent Taylor, to George Kittle, to Deebo Samuel, all those things.
He was Mr. Team Captain. Now he's MIA.
I don't know, man. It's just too quiet.
That's a really
too quiet.
I came to that conclusion last night. I'm glad you brought it back up. That, I think, is probably the most important thing. Mm-hmm. His silence says a ton because it's uncharacteristic. It's totally uncharacteristic.
Absolutely.
Well, I think. Oh wait, we got a bunch.
Questions. Yeah, I'll figure.
All right, my bad. Do we get Trey? Yeah, Trey. I think it's possible the Niners realize they jumped the gun by moving up to 3 and will trade out of it and settle for one of the 3 quarterbacks who fall.
That's an interesting theory. That's a dangerous game.
That assumes that Kyle Shanahan is like me. Like, I'm the person who changes my mind. Like, Kyle doesn't change his mind. Kyle is.
I think so. Again, had Guy Haberman on, and he says, I think the pick's in for 5 weeks. Now, whether that's Mac, he's like, no, whether that's
what Schefter's saying.
Yeah, whatever you think it is, it's already been made, the decision. But there's only 3 people that know. So, like you said, I don't think Kyle's apt to just say, well, we've got 21 days to the draft. You know what? No. Yeah, let me think about this. No, let's switch this around.
Actually, I changed my mind. No.
Absolutely right. Kyle Shanahan has his guy. He already knows who it is. Now, who is it? We're going to find out.
Yeah, we will. Scott says Warner traded to the Jets for the 2nd pick. Jets take 3rd pick and take Fields. Niners take Wilson. Calling it now. So a pick swap, including Warner. Man, that's expensive.
Scott, I mean, I don't know, man. For one pick.
Mm-hmm. For one, that's a lot. You should be able to get that done for the second rounder.
You should be able to get to number 1. You should be able to talk to them, and you should be able to talk to the Jags and say, go get Trevor Lawrence for that. I would think.
I agree. Barry of Baller 18 says, when talking about Mac Jones, I hear his ceiling is Cousins. That's been my comp, but do you see a chance he could be between Eli and Peyton talent-wise? See, the way I look at it is I think his most likely projection is Kirk Cousins. His ceiling might be better than Kirk Cousins. I mean, Kirk Cousins never played as well as Mac Jones did. Now, he didn't play at Alabama. That's the thing. Everyone plays great at Alabama. Which quarterback didn't play great at Alabama?
Look, this is that's true. Which one? Not many.
Not many.
So the good thing. So here's the thing with Kirk Cousins. I understand his fan base doesn't like him because he, we talked about it. He's a dork, but man, he's been really good the last 2 years, man. And I don't know, like I think he gets disrespected sometimes when you guys talk about like his ceiling is Cousins. That's not bad. Ceiling, Cousins throws for 4,000 yards.
Right. So you're saying he's a top 10 quarterback in the league? Like that's actually
right. Like, is that such a bad thing? All right. Yeah. So what I'll say is the Eli Manning one is really interesting. That's not my comp though. I've seen it floated out there and it made me think a little bit. But yeah, I'll say that the Matt Ryan thing has a lot too. Has a lot to do with the comp as well. So is there a world where Mac Jones becomes, high level Matt Ryan, high level Kirk Cousins, maybe even Eli Manning? That's not bad, man. That's not bad at all. It's just not warranted with the third pick and what you pushed up to get for him.
True. But I could hear Kyle saying, like, look at Drew Brees, for example. I mean, in San Diego, was he a Hall of Famer? No.
Nope.
No. But all of a sudden you put him on an offense with a great coach and some playmakers, boom. Yep. So maybe Kyle says, look, I mean, yeah, Mac Jones isn't great. If you put him on the wrong team took him. Yeah, it might not work out. But on my team, with I know it'll work. And I respect that he at least has strong opinions like
conviction.
That.
He just, yeah. I'll give him that too. He's not a waffler.
No, I'm the waffler. As a FL faithful, I'm confused how Fields and Mac are rated better than Trask. Help me out. Because we can swing Pitts and Trask in this draft. Easy. You're preaching to the choir. Jason, go ahead, because I don't even see why Mac Jones is better than Kyle Trask. I don't. In terms of the pocket passers.
It's an interesting discussion. Marcus Spears brought it up on NFL Live.
Oh, he did?
Like,
good.
Yes.
Good for him.
And he's like, and if you're talking about Mac Jones, he goes, I don't understand why you're not talking about Kyle Trask in the same way.
Thank you.
What
would Kyle Trask have done in Alabama? Why would he? I mean, he did great at Florida.
So I mean, it was an interesting discussion. With Kyle Trask, is Kyle Trask comps, like a Big Ben type. Very much just a big guy in the pocket. You might not be able to bring him down. It's just his arm worries me because some of those balls they float out there and they're just not going to get there. And Kyle Pitts is a hell of a target to throw the ball to. And Kadarius Toney is good as well. Like so,
Grimes and Van Jefferson, and
they've got some guys over there. So with Kyle Trask, again, if we're talking about limited ceiling with Matt Jones, then you kind of have to even drop that a little bit more with Kyle Trask, just because again, traditional pocket passer, big guy. So is there a world where Kyle Trask? Didn't mean to say it like that. If Kyle Trask becomes, one of the better quarterbacks of this draft, sure.
I think there is,
but you didn't move up to 3 to take Kyle Pitts.
No, you didn't. But I think the reason no one talks about Trask is he lost his last 3 games this season, and the last game was
in that bowl game, and that's what I'm saying. That bowl game is stuck in everybody's mind. Yes. That's the last thing that you see.
But that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be like a terrible NFL player. And I think another thing about it is he ran a 5.2 at his pro day. Like Mac Jones ran a 4.8. He really isn't the prototypical. He's not what anyone's looking for. Maybe a couple of teams, but that doesn't mean he won't be good in the NFL. I really think if you like Mac Jones, you've got to be honest and realize that Trask is good in all those same exact things. Like gets the ball out quick and on time. Yup. Gets the ball downfield in the right place. Yup. I mean, so it's a scheme fit too. You can't ask to move him out of the pocket at all. He's got to be Big Ben. He's got to be Peyton Manning. So we'll see if he can hit that.